Welcome to this overview review of the HP TouchSmart TM2 tablet PC. The title of this video says it all. This is a magical mobile miracle, folks. This is the finest consumer tablet that HP's ever developed, and it might be the best consumer tablet PC ever. Last year I reviewed the TX2 from HP, the immediate predecessor to the TM2, and that was a good machine. But at the time I noted that it generated a lot of heat and noise when it was running at full speed, and it also was not well built. It had a lot of plastic, like your average cheap consumer laptop, and as a tablet it never folded into tablet mode correctly or securely. It was a lot of play, a lot of looseness. All of that's been changed in this unit. It's been redesigned from the ground up. It has an aluminum chassis that's very attractive. It looks kind of like stainless steel with an imprint finish and raised HP logo at the corner here. And it generates very little heat, as hot as it ever gets. It feels like a shirt coming out of the dryer, and it generates very little noise. It's just very well built. Just to quickly make a couple of notes about the design, you'll notice that it is slanted. There is a hump in the back. This is a cooling hump, according to HP, and basically it's designed to allow the unit to handle some higher end components. There are options to upgrade this unit to a dedicated GPU, which I would highly recommend. It's a $75 upgrade, but it will vastly improve the performance for this device, especially if you intend to use it for gaming, which it is very capable of doing, especially with the 1.6 GHz processor, which is what this unit has that I'm reviewing. And that hump is, as you can see, it adds some height to the back of the unit. It actually isn't a problem. I thought it would be for tablet mode use, in portrait mode particular, but it actually can help. It has a few disadvantages which I'll go over in a hardware overview, but it basically allows the unit to cool better, and it actually does help change the center of gravity so that when you're holding the unit as a tablet in portrait mode, it actually distributes the weight better. The center of gravity is much closer to your hand, so the back of the unit isn't pulling down on it. Now this unit weighs about 4.5 pounds, and to just give you some perspective of how much that is, this book that I have here weighs almost the same. So you're really talking about a device that's no heavier than a book. It's a little heavier than your average ultra portable. However, it's also, for the price and the capability, especially if you upgrade the CPU and particularly add the dedicated graphics processor, it has wonderful performance for a machine of this size and price range. Just want to make one note about perhaps really the only negative to this machine that I found and that people have talked a lot about in forums that I've visited. This machine has a high gloss screen very similar to other laptops of this size, like the HP Envy or the MacBook Pro. And as you can see, it's fairly reflective. You can see the light reflecting off of the chandelier above us. Now that's not typically a problem, or a big problem for the average laptop, but this being a tablet device which is designed to, where the screen is designed to actually fold down as we will do here, you can see that there is reflectivity off of the screen. And if you're using it as a tablet, as you can see from even in this video, you can see the reflection off of the screen. It's actually not that bad. Having used a lot of tablets over the years, the screens usually have some issue. They're not bright enough or they're too glossy. This one is glossy. It's very similar to the first screen that the TX2 came out with. they changed over to a matte finish, and then the TM2 they went back to the gloss finish for whatever reason. Don't get me wrong, it's actually quite a nice screen. It's better than you'll see on most laptops. The viewing angles are good. They're not excellent, but they're quite good for a consumer tablet particularly. And actually the hump in this case helps deal with reflectivity, because as you're using it as a tablet, a lot of the light is not reflected directly into your eyes. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. You can find an orientation that works as you write on the machine, and sometimes you might even want to change the angle a little bit as you move across the page, but you can almost always, in any lighting environment except direct or bright sunlight, that's going to be a problem for just about any device that doesn't have a screen that's designed for outdoor operation. But that's been the biggest negative, so I wanted to bring that up just to let people know that that's an issue that does come up, and some people are really turned off by it. But if you're familiar with high gloss screens, just go look at one in any Best Buy or Office Depot or someplace that sells laptops, and you can see it for yourself. If you have your own laptop, you probably have noticed it, because most of them do have the glossy screens. That's just pretty common these days. But other than that, this machine is just excellent from top to bottom. HP has really thought about this device. I can see they've taken out the DVD drive, the internal DVD drive that was on the TX2, and they took out the express card. But we'll go over the options that you can use to mitigate those issues in the hardware overview. It's actually it doesn't feel heavy. Like I say, it's quite easy in the hands, and it just really feels like a solid piece. It feels like a slate in this case. It doesn't feel like separate parts like the TX2 did that jiggle around a lot. So there you have it, a high-level overview. This is an excellent machine, even if it weren't a tablet. If you compare it to other ultra portables in this price range, it has great performance. It uses the Intel Core 2 Duo consumer ultra low voltage processors. The base unit runs at 1.3 gigahertz. This unit, of course, reviewed as 1.6. Don't let that turn you off, folks. It's actually very fast. When you couple it with the HD 55 or 4550 GPU, you've got great performance. As you can see, I have a video out there already that's benchmarked the TM2 with 4 of the latest games out there, and this machine runs them quite well. I've played Mass Effect 2 on this machine for a couple hours and had a pleasant time playing it. It was actually quite enjoyable. So there you have it, the TM2 from HP. It's right now the finest consumer tablet out in the market, probably one of the best ever built. It's a beautiful device. I think you'll love it.